All right. Let's get the show on the road. How are we doing today, everybody? We are going to be playing some more Escape from Tarkov. I think the goal tonight is just play raids and let's see where the night takes us. Kova and Shadow might get on later. I don't know. I think I'm supposed to help Shadow with bullshit later. It's kind of a very annoying task to do on your own, so I can completely understand why he's asking for help. I actually had some friends help me do that task earlier in the wipe. Let me make sure here. I think we're still muted on the game volume. That is not a good thing. Here we go. All right. Let's see here. What are we running? We're gonna run this SR2. Let's see. Hey, man. Kova, I'm assuming that is you. Let me rearrange some stuff here and make sure I can see the chat. That's good, that's good, that's good. All right, we're set up here. Let's go through the checklist. So, normally, because I kind of want to make sure that we're sticking with what I would like to do, which is we're kind of looking to do kind of an educational stream, right? Like I don't know if I'm ever really going to do that many structured videos, but my goal with this streaming thing is just a lot of people always have interest in Escape from Tarkov, but I think the primary issue is it's very, very difficult to get into this game. So I'm going to keep probably repeating the mission statement at the beginning of every single stream, just so that way in the future, if anyone ever tries to check this out, they'll have some sort of context for why maybe I might be talking into oblivion, or why I might be kind of talking about basic things to chat. But the goal of this stream is to kind of at least teach as much as I can as a relatively, I don't have 10,000 hours in this game. I have closer to 2,000 hours. But in the 2,000 hours I've played, I've kind of learned a lot that I feel like, somebody with 200 hours, it takes you from that point of you're a pure novice to this game to, that's why, those top players do what they do. So the goal is going to be to kind of vocalize and stream of consciousness the stuff that you guys may want to see or may have questions about, kind of talking about things that may not necessarily be apparent, small little gameplay tweaks that you might be able to do yourself to see, just to be better at this game. Not even necessarily be better, just have more knowledge about the game, because this game is hard. This game is very, very hard, in not necessarily ways of like, in the very obvious ways of just like, there's things that will shoot you in the head from 300 meters away and just waste you, right? Or it's not hard from the fact that you lose the stuff that you bring in a raid if you die. That stuff is difficult, but there's also another level of, there's a lot of things inside of this game that are still pretty obtuse to the normal player. Oh, I just have it on the lobby screen right now. I'm about to change it over to the game screen, but there we go. Oh, you should have this now. But yeah, right now, we're focusing, there's not very many, there's probably not a whole lot of, there's not many of you in chat. I mean, I think Kova's in here and that's about it. Other people might join in, who knows? I don't really, it's not really about the viewers here. The view count as providing something that might be educational for somebody in the future, whether or not they stumble upon a video that I end up making or just stumble upon the stream. I hope that there's something that, somebody out there watching me gets some sort of takeaway from the way I'm playing, whether or not, that's what you should not do or that's what you should do. It doesn't matter. I want somebody to hopefully look at this one day in the future and go, hey, I learned something. or I watched some guy do something that was not very smart to do. Even that's good. You know, that's completely okay. So just to kind of start the day out, we're gonna start with a chill little kind of wood stream. I've kind of been running woods just as a relax and, you know, chill map. You run into the occasional PvP, but for the most part, it's kind of just like one of those maps you almost use to warm up your hands, because there's very few times you will run into players, especially this late in wipe. And you're probably wondering why I'm using an SMG. I will explain that choice soon, but you know, again, map choice, it's a good way to just kind of ease your way into an evening, well, potential evening of being in a blender, or just, you know, just chill loot streams, right? That's another thing as well, is woods is very, very good for just hitting up a couple POIs with a fairly large backpack, stuffing it full of anything you can find, and then getting out. There's a rotation that I take that is a pretty good one, and that you can, you know, it can go either way. You can either start from the left side of the map or the right side of the map, and it's just a good kind of easy stroll through the forest, as we say. But anyway, let's go with gun choice. So gun choice, you know, we're SR2. I've kind of made a very interesting observation about this map, seeing players like Landmark and even myself playing it, is you only ever really engage in two ranges on woods. There's been very, very few times where this rule has really ever, like, the exceptions to this rule that I kind of have for playing woods is you either fight extreme close range, right? You know, we're talking like CQB to just past CQB, or extreme long ranges where you're gonna get head tap from some place, from a guy hiding in a bush that's 200 meters away that you were never going to see unless you already knew he was there and you were counter sniping him. So I've kind of started deviating towards running guns that excel at the close to long ranges, and nothing really, like, you know, there's not, the medium range in this game's kind of weird anyway. So, but, you know, I'm perfectly comfortable, honestly, running red dots on this map. A lot more than what I used to run when I first started playing 2 wipes ago. When I first started playing 2 wipes ago, I never ever ran red dots. I always ran either assault scopes, or I ran Voodoo's, tac bursts, vortexes. You know, it needed a deep scope, right? I'll run a Schmidt and Bender on this every once in a while, but for the most part, I really like. I kind of like this setup where you just run a red dot and you use the natural kind of vegetation and tree trunks, right, to kind of dart from cover to cover and cover the ground. Because especially on this map, I feel like no one ever expects the kind of super aggro rush strat of people running like you would normally see on maybe customs, or, you know, underground reserve, shoreline resort fighting. So I don't know, it's worked out kind of well for me, and I think it throws a lot of people off. And for me, it's also just fun. Like, I'm not that much of a sniper. I'm not really good at counter sniping. I kind of don't have the patience for it. You know, I'll rat when I need to, but kind of the idea of counter sniping is you're kind of waiting for the other guy to make a mistake, and that's not really my style. The other guy I play with, Drix, he's much more of a counter sniper. He probably has better eyes than I do as well. I do not have good eyesight, so if something is just not moving on the screen, I'm just very unlikely going to see it. You know, sometimes I'll catch little small things. You know, my twitch reflexes are okay. They're not the best. You know, I'm not gonna like I've gotten some good flicks that are, you know, I'm a little bit proud of, but for the most part, I just try to play. Again, you know, I mentioned it in the stream before, where we're trying to play smart and trying to figure out good tactics and strategy versus just being straight up, you know, cracked out player. You know, there's definitely times when being a cracked out player helps, and you know, occasionally I can engage that, but for the most part, I try to just play smart, and instead of being a W key chatter, right? But with that being said, W key chatting, aggression is definitely rewarded in this game. Although, from what I understand, there have been reports that the desync problem in this game has largely decreased. And in some cases, if you have too high of a ping, you actually are punished, which makes sense. Well, and maybe we'll get into that if someone comes in here and starts asking about the netcode stuff. Then we can talk about that a little bit more. But I'm also a little bit devious of this very high lobby counter. This has been happening more and more lately, and I don't know if it has something. It's very, very likely something to do with the netcode optimizations that they did, because I know that two of my squad mates, Shadow. Oh, there we go. Shadow and Drix have both had issues with disconnects recently since the new patch. Probably something to do with the netcode sync. All right, so let's see where we're starting. I think we're by Scav House. Almost sure we're by Scav House, actually. Yeah, this is Scav House Road. Okay, so we're over here by outskirts. Scav House is relatively close by. We're running a level 4, so we kind of don't want to get into anything too gross. And my helmet is not the most ideal. It's just an ACH. It doesn't cover my ears. Not that it really matters on woods. I don't know, and in general, I don't know if I've ever been saved by my helmet covering my ears. For the most part, it's just been... I've bounced rounds off my forehead. I'm sure I've bounced... maybe I've bounced rounds off my ears. I have no idea. I definitely don't think I ever have, though. I probably died to my ears getting shot in more times than I can care to admit or remember. Alright. Let's see. So the rotation that we're going to be taking is we're going to take this up to USEC. We're going to take USEC to Ruined Village. We're going to take Ruined Village to the Scav Village where Van Extract is. Sometimes we call it Sugar Village. Or Sugar Street, I think. One of the other callouts I've heard. And we'll also and then we'll probably exit out UN roadblock, or or we may go out through the van outside. I have trouble seeing into these bunkers. They did something. Let's actually take that pineapple juice. They did something very recently or not recently, I guess not recently anymore. It was something this wipe. They changed something with the lighting to where these bunkers are basically impossible to see in for me. I don't know why. I don't know if that's something that was intended either. I mean, I guess it's maybe it's intended. It is a bunker. There's not really any natural light. Very, very difficult to see in here as a consequence. So, end up having to turn on the light. I could probably change my gamma or whatever. I don't like using post effects though. It kind of washes out the game. Then we listen. So there are a couple player spawns ahead of me. We're gonna go ahead and pop a PK. And this is, you guys will kind of see, is the popping a PK in this game is still busted. Yep. Heard something. Yeah, that was a scout. Turn down my volume just a tad. Alright, anyway. Yeah, so in 13.1, the PK meta is still pretty busted. It's still basically, once you get to a certain... Especially once you get to a certain metabolism, and have resources in this game, and it's pretty easy just to pop a PK and ignore quite a few mechanics. So There used to be a point in time where I'd almost always be on a PK and just eat and drink as often as I could in the raid, but I try not to do that anymore. It's kind of a bad habit. Just because you're the kind of... First of all, it drains resources unnecessarily. Because you're just popping PKs left and right, and, you know, you may run out of PKs, especially with the lower level ones like a Golden Star or a, what is it, Vaseline. You might end up kind of using too many PKs and you're not going to have them fight, and then you're going to have to double up on them, yada yada. That's just not an effective use of resources. It's easier just to, you know, if you're expecting a fight, morphines are pretty cheap for the most part during all stages of the wipe. So you just, you know, you bind a morphine to your hotbar. As you can see on my hotbar there at the top, it's 7. So that way, if something happens and like your leg gets blown off or something like that, you can just pop the morphine. Stims are pretty quick to use. So that way you can kind of keep fighting if you need to. So we're coming up on another player. There's actually a couple of player spawns ahead of me, but I don't know. So here's another thing. For veteran players will kind of know this, but the spawning system in a PK. Oh, hey, sweetie. A PK is a painkiller. So in this game, in Escape from Tarkov, a PK, again, painkiller. It's a number of like different medicines and consumable items that give you what is called a painkiller effect, and it effectively kind of wipes out certain debuffs that you take or certain kind of bad things that happen to your character. Like, let's say if my leg gets blown off. Well, if my leg gets blown off, I'm gonna start limping. If you take a PK, your character just ends up just kind of ignoring that his leg was blown off. It doesn't, you know, don't try not to think about it too much as a gameplay thing. There's a certain amount of realism to it. You know, in Battlefield Medicine, you know, there are such things as, you know, giving like an injured soldier morphine to kind of help him keep fighting, and, you know, there's Battlefield drugs that were made to kind of, sorry, I was listening there. There's like Battlefield drugs that are kind of designed to be given to soldiers to kind of keep them going, but the painkiller effects are ridiculous. Like morphine, you know, a morphine injection might do something like that. More often than not, you probably wouldn't give guy morphine who probably needs to be able to stay alert and fight. It's not really what morphine does, but, you know, there's also like ibuprofen. You know, ibuprofen does not... taking a pill of ibuprofen does not really help you ignore that your leg is gone or that you've been shot, especially immediately, right? Same thing with Vaseline. Vaseline does not do that. Golden Star does not do that. Golden Star is like a kind of like the Tiger Bomb that I use. All right, let's see. Coming up on another potential player spawn here. We might have come up here fast enough. He might still be looting. We're gonna do something a little cheeky. Heard something. But yeah, yeah, the PK meta is kind of ridiculous though, because you would, like I said, you basically just take a PK and then you ignore half the point of getting limbs blown off. It also prevents your PMC from, like, if you know you take too much damage, you start coughing and stuff. Your aim can get worse. You get like blood spots. You also take like a pain effect to where like your field of vision narrows and it kind of makes it more difficult to see. I'm kind of nervous here. I thought I heard something. Don't want these. Oh, okay, maybe I wanted that shit. That raptor charging him. It's actually worth money. Anyway, yeah, the people have complained about PKs for a while. It's kind of one of those things where it makes some amount of sense from a gameplay perspective to give you something that can help you ignore certain battlefield effects, but it doesn't make sense that you can you know, using them really has no consequence, especially if you, because most of the idea is if you take a painkiller, it's supposed to be balanced out by you kind of start, you lose, what's it called? You lose hydration and food, which, you know, you have to stay hydrated and you have to eat for energy in Raid, but there's just so much food on some of these maps, and you can always just bring food, or, you know, if you have max metabolism, you could almost ignore the effects entirely. It doesn't, it kind of, it starts to, you kind of start realizing how busted it is. I keep hearing stuff. I don't know if it's me. I don't like it. Yeah, we're at USEC camp now. It doesn't look like anybody spawned or headed this way. Kind of surprised. Kind of peeking around here, listening. We want to be especially wary of showing ourselves to a very long sight line, because I'm using a little SMG, so it's kind of, it'd be very, very difficult to fight somebody who's got a large amount of range on me. Alton face shield, MPX drum, that's pretty good. Get rid of this. That would be Sturman that you hear popping off over there. Want this. Now, there is a spawn that's somewhat close that usually is sometimes heads down south, but sometimes it just heads north. South being heads towards outskirts. But I can't remember if the extract for that spawn is down at outskirts, or has to wrap around to the other side of the map. Whew. That's moonshine. That's money. About 250k. That's kind of why I like it's kind of a cool thing that they did recently to Woods, especially, is they increased a lot of the loot here. They kind of made it a little bit better. Before, they're used to that, you know, that little table there would have a couple of good, you know, it might have like at best a Salewa, like a little healing item. But you know, now it can, and it also used to reportedly spawn LEDXs. I never found LEDX there in previous wipes, but this wipe, they did something to the loot spawns to where now you can get a LEDX there. You know, I found a moonshine there. There is a food spawn there, but I don't believe I've ever found a moonshine until before this wipe. Cool. Quality still looks... That's Blair. How is he down here? Did he have a friend? I don't know what he was using, but he got wasted. Now I'm just clearing my bag here. So that's kind of what I'm talking about, right? That's another thing on Woods, is that you can potentially walk right past each other and not ever know it. You know, look how close we got. Oh, God. Okay. You had some stuff, my guy. All right, first tip. Always reload while you're in the middle of doing stuff. He ate, too. P.S. Is it all PS? Looks like it's all PS. Yeah, look, this guy was prepared to try to fight at long range. He's got an L-can on top of his gun. Let's see here. What's the best way to do this? Toss that. Toss this, toss this. Alright, another part of this game that probably a lot of people get kind of very, very intimidated by is the kind of quote-unquote Tetrising of loot. You know, you have to kind of make everything fit in increasingly efficient ways sometimes. Kind of funny because my wife is gonna laugh at me for this, but I've been playing a lot of Tetris recently, and this was kind of one of the, like, you know, whenever I play Tetris, I start thinking about it like loot. I start kind of like seeing just the loot in my, like the loot pile up in my head, and how it kind of looks like. And I've kind of been using that as practice for playing this game. That popping off you hear is actually a boss scav. A lot of... So, okay. True story. I still get a little bit concerned whenever I hear lots and lots of shoosting inside of raids. I wear a Fitbit. Well, I used to wear a Fitbit, now I wear a Garmin. And there have been a lot of times where, you know, I try to think of myself as a pretty calm person for the most part. I've worked stressful jobs and stuff, and I've kind of just gotten used to being underneath high-stress situations. And playing this game still sometimes gets my heart rate up to the point where, especially now that my Garmin is all set up, it actually yells at me that my heart rate is getting abnormally high, in a really hilarious way, because I will legit be sitting in a corner someplace trying to listen, or I'll hear somebody pushing me, and I'm trying to figure out if it's, you know, if it's a player, if it's a scav, whatever, and my heart rate will actually start to go. And that has not stopped yet. And it's kind of interesting because it's probably one of the reasons why I love this game still, despite all of its many flaws and issues. This game is still awesome to me because, oh my god. Okay, I'm rich. Okay, I thought I heard something. I'm sorry. I thought, you know... I've played plenty of other games. I've played Counter-Strike. I've played Valorant, League of Legends. I played competitive StarCraft for a bit. I played a lot of games that can be considered high stress, and you know, at a certain point, I kind of got used to it. You know, you get the adrenaline going, especially if you're playing something very, you know, especially like competitive StarCraft. I used to get my adrenaline going on that. Ranked League, you know, anybody who's played League of Legends, they kind of know that, like, that game can kind of get your blood pressure going in a probably an unhealthy way. But this game in particular has just... It has continued to kind of give me some of the highest highs and of any video game I've ever played. Something about the way that the loot works, that the shoosting works, the gun building, the way that you accumulate stuff and can consequently also lose that accumulated stuff. Those things have kind of cemented this game. I forgot to replace my ODB2. I'm so upset. That's okay. It has kind of led to this game being something that I kind of keep coming back to. In, you know, regardless of whatever else I'm playing. As my wife can attest, she has actually gotten quite upset with me that I was playing this game too much. And I try to control it now because, especially because I have, you know, because addiction is an unhealthy thing, regardless of what you are addicted to. So, you know, you gotta watch that. But also, I have a son. So, you know, family first, right? So I try to control my playing of this game. So that way, especially because like the way you have to play it, you can't really just, this is not really a game that you can kind of play passively. There's a lot of other games that I play that, you know, you can pause, you can put down. Currently I'm playing also on my PS5, I'm playing Final Fantasy 16. I'm also, but I also play, you know, Age of Wonders, you know, other action RPGs. I was into Diablo 4 for a little bit. I was playing a lot of, you know, I play kind of a lot of everything. And there's just some, you know, those are games but those are games you can easily pause. There's not very many online games I play, especially ones that have this kind of level of consequence to it. So this one's difficult. It's always difficult to play this, especially like, you know, especially if my son hasn't gone to bed yet, or, you know, if I want to go, if I want to go just hang out with my wife, you know, I can't just throw this up on, I can't just play this in the living room. I don't like that. I thought I heard something this way. And we're gonna kind of take a different way. I have a Hex. I have this RD I would like to get out with. I have 2 moonshines, and I have 2 moonshines that I would also like to get out with. But yeah, there's just, this game is very difficult to, you know, if you're gonna play, you have to play. You can scav, but even scabbing, you know, if you, depending on what level you are and depending on what you're trying to accomplish that day, you can very easily burn 2-3 hours and not get anything done. In fact, you may have regressed in progress. And that might be why a lot of people get very, very upset with the cheating situation in this game. And there's a lot of streamers who put this very, very eloquently, is that basically, you know, when you get a cheater in your game and you kind of get, you know, some dude just instant headshots you, it isn't just going straight back to the lobby and then you start another game, right? And it isn't just you die and then you have to respawn at the other end of the map. If you die and you lose stuff in this game and he picks it all up and gets to the extract out with it, you know, you kind of just, you lost time. And time is a very precious commodity, right? It's probably the only commodity that you will not be able, you cannot earn that back. You know, to a certain extent, money can be translated into time, you know, all that jazz, but you literally cannot make back more time. It is impossible. So, and that's why I believe in playing this game, especially early on, is you want to, you know, you take your time, because, you know, especially if you have time to burn, take the time, learn what kind of like, if you die to something, I'm a firm believer in making sure you record your gameplay, you kind of play it back, especially if it's something that, like, it's CQB fight or something. You know, go and record it, play it back, look at it and see what you could have done better, play situations back out. You know, ooh. I don't want any of that. I just want the extract. Probably owned by Scout. But yeah, you play it back, you know, look and see what you could have done better, what you did wrong, right? Even if you should always like be looking to be better, even if it looks like you played something perfectly. In this game, there's kind of almost, you can always kind of fine tune and look for a better way to do something. Extract. And we're out. All right. That was a pretty good little woods raid. we're getting out with a lot of stuff. It's probably about it's probably about 1 million rubles worth of stuff in my backpack. Ooh, got him with a headshot. I am kind of surprised. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. He's probably running low on kits. We'll go through the loot a little bit as well and kind of talk about what I looted, why I looted. Most of it was obviously for money, but you know, the moonshine's money, right? The ammo, you know, you can't buy, you know, this ammo is in very low supply, 45 ACP. They kind of made a lot of changes to that ammo type and made a little bit prohibitive to stockpile. I got the guy's dog tag, you know, it's kind of an interesting fight. I might look that back again later and see if I might have noticed him. So this is a very interesting piece of find. The Hex Grid. You know, level 6 armor. This is one of the best armors in the game. Or, you know, a lot of people believe is one of the best armors of the game. It only covers your thorax, but it is very, very good. It's also very light. It's pretty a lot of the time you kind of have to strike the balance between weight and protection in this game. And the Hex Grid, at least for right now, it kind of rides the middle, but it only covers your thorax. So that's kind of how they, you know, quote unquote balance it. Is it only covers your chest? But I mean, on woods it doesn't really matter. Like I said, it's the ranges that you engage in. Right there, we engaged in, you know, I killed him at 11 meters away. You know, that's basically, you know, I don't, you know, other than a couple of shooter-born kills that I've gotten, which are PMC kills with headshots from over 100 meters away. I don't know if I've ever gotten, I don't know if I've ever fought like, you know, 60 meters away. It was always either close or really, really far. Okay, it looks like Kova may be hopping on a little later, but we'll do another woods raid because that felt kind of good. My hands are also not warmed up all the way. Let me play some music too. Let's see. Put something kind of nice on. There we go. You guys kind of. So that way, the only thing you're not hearing me do is just click away at this bunches of menus while I'm trying to set crafts back up. I guess we can talk about crafting a little bit. So, my friends probably make fun of me a lot about this, but I actually don't. I'm a firm believer in this game of not necessarily relying on your raids to make you money. Your raids should make you money, right? And you should always try to aim to fill up your backpack and kind of make sure that you are getting out with a full backpack, so that way your time in the raid, along with the skill points and stuff and your actual time in the raid, you're also, you know, you're getting out with enough stuff to recoup hopefully your insurance and hopefully your ammo and grenades that you might have used up. You know, you want to make sure you're at least making enough money to break even on that. I actually make most of my money through the hideout. And we'll go and look at that hideout real quick. Can we zoom this out? I feel like I can zoom it out. There we go. There we go. Yeah, so, you know, here's the hideout. You know, all of these little icons and stuff, they all have like bonuses associated with them. So, well, not all of them, I guess. Some of them are kind of just, they are resource sinks, like illumination. This does nothing. All it does is lock you away from doing other stuff. Vents doesn't do anything. All it does is lock you from doing other stuff. It's a little, you know, security. There's no tangible benefit from doing this. It's literally just something you have to do in order to unlock the other pieces. But stuff like the lavatory, the workbench, Intel Center used to make money. It doesn't really make money. This wipe because they moved a lot of the crafts into stuff that's kind of hard to get to. Med Station, nutrition unit. All of these stations you can start crafting stuff in to either sell or to use. And I kind of gotten, I'm kind of standing on the backs of giants for that particular one. I didn't really come up with the idea of using the hideout to make money. And I'm sure anybody who's like a somewhat experienced player at this game is just like, oh, he's trying to take credit for making money off the hideouts. No, that's not the case at all. I'm just saying that it is a really good way to ensure that you are making money, so that way you can keep raiding. Because ultimately, raids in the game, while they can make you money, most of the time it kind of sets you back. You're investing quite a lot. You can potentially be investing quite a lot into a raid before, and you're always starting at a deficit, right? Because you unless you start out naked as shit, which you can, but you're at pretty severe disadvantage if you go in naked. But if you kind of don't need the raid to make you money, and you have kind of supplemental income from the hideout, you can very easily make it so that way you can do what you want, right? Like, especially for any hardcore PvP players, you can push fights without hitting that wall of gear fear, which a lot of new players, and to a certain extent I still do, is sometimes I'll be scared to lose stuff, especially stuff that it's not easy for me to get. And that can be kind of a wall for a lot of people in terms of playing this game. Is like they get something really cool, they get a really nice piece of kit, or they get ammo that they don't want to, they're like very scared to use. But ultimately you have to kind of remember that it's just stuff. The stuff should be there, the stuff is just there for you to use to have fun with the game. If it's not being used, or you don't ever plan on using it, kind of why keep it? And this, I've been getting better and better with kind of that mentality as I play this game. I'll still save armors and stuff, and I'll try not to run, like, especially on this map, I try to run kits that make sense, but there's kind of no sense on, there's a lot of new players that get all the way to the end of the wipe, and they have, like 3 or 4 hex grids, 2 or 3 slicks, right? Or a whole bunch of level 5s that they just never end up using. And I mean, I did it too. Like, I still do it to some extent. Like, I kind of don't like to use slicks. I kind of don't like to use hex grids, but it's mostly because hilariously enough, I don't use them because I honestly don't think that they do anything for me. For whatever reason, most of the fights that I win, and most of the raids that I get out of, are done wearing stuff like, level 4s, right? Like this Osprey. Nobody really likes Ospreys, but like, we just fought that guy, and he didn't even touch me. He didn't hit me with a single shot. Not that it would have done anything. He was using not great, not ideal ammo in his RD, but at the same time, he didn't even touch me. So I could have been naked. But the times that I have been killed, where it's very, very frustrating, and they're like, man, I couldn't do anything there, more often than not, and this might just be my memory working against me, is more often than not, I get killed by, I just get shot in the head or shot in the eyes, where they're, all the slicks and hex grids in the world, and we're never gonna stop that. Not unless I wore one on my face, which you can't do. We're gonna do another woods raid. So, I at a certain point, I keep them because like they look good in my stash, but I don't really ever use them unless we're kind of doing some like kind of degen shit where we're just gonna run a PvP for the next 4 hours or something like that. And of course, whenever my buddy runs one, I don't like to run. I don't like to leave people hanging like that. I know that there's some people who always will run shit kits where it's like, the insurance for it is, 40k. The kit in total maybe costs 100k. It'll be like a Mosin and a level 4. They're not wearing a helmet. They're wearing the cheapest contacts. They're gonna use cheese the whole entire time. Cheese being AI2s. and they're asking for food and water in the raid, right? Like I know those people. I played with them, and it's very annoying whenever you have that guy in the squad and everyone else is running level 5s. You know, they've got their kitted RD 704s. You know, they've got like 3 or 4 mags of BP. You know, everyone's kitted to the 9s, and you got, you know, poor boy over there in the corner just kind of like, yeah, you should push them. Yeah, that's never fun, and it always introduces feelings of resentment. So I try to, if you're not the one who's the most kitted out in the group, you kind of don't, you at least want to match the average of what the rest of the guys are running. It's, you know, and that's something for team cohesion as well, because in this game, probably more than anything else, chemistry is a really kind of nice X factor to playing this game. I would not recommend playing this game, especially the amount that I've played this game, with just pure randoms. You want to play with people that and this should be a no-brainer. You want to play with people who you have fun with. You want to play with people who, you know, match your energy, are, you know, can move at the same pace that you do, or like to play at the same pace that you do. Because if you don't, you know, if you got one guy who's like hyper rat and you got another guy who's hyper aggro, those personalities tend to clash. Same thing with, you know, everybody wearing different values of kits. Somebody's running around with a 150, 200, 300k just in their gun alone, and then they're wearing a level 5, you know, face shield, you know, exfil, and then you got Mosin Boy in the corner. You know, I was like, why the fuck do I play this dude? Especially if that dude doesn't die and ends up winning fights that you kind of, I wouldn't say that you won for him, but let's say that maybe you participated in, and he, you know, you traded your life in, and he got to walk out, and now he's walking out, you know, with a lobby full of loot, and you're sitting at the lobby wondering if you should scav, you know, to try to make your money back. You know, it's never a good, that's not a good place to be. And it can, like I said, as stressful as this game can be, you don't want that to be you and your team. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. All right, let's go again. That's a pretty good. So we've so kind of like, I'm not gonna kind of like, kind of don't, you know, we'll tally everything up at the end of the, kind of at the end on how much money I made with everything. Oh god, I hate spawning over here. I always run into the frickin' mines. Run this way first. So we spawned by USEC again. It is early morning. A lot of the time these early morning raids can go one of two ways. They can either be completely dead, or they're going to have every single guy and their mother who had the same idea as I did and go, oh, we should raid now because then there will nobody will be here. Thought I heard something stepping. So let's see. Okay, so we spawned over by USEC again. This time we spawned on the kind of like the top side of it, or the north side, towards the bunker. I call that Big Mountain. It's kind of the landmark that I always try to orient people who I'm showing around on this map. Say, look for Big Mountain. That's going to be the top or north side of the map. Oh, that's worth some money. Knuckles worth something. That's sniper scav, I think. Audio in this game's been very, very weird for me. I I don't know if it's just something I need to get used to, but I always have... I've been having more and more trouble since they started making changes to the audio, differentiating between front and back of me on some of these maps. Oh, that's Sturman, I think. It's always a little bit... sometimes a little bit difficult. And yeah, I know, ha ha ha, everybody's... I'm sure anybody in the future is laughing about, like, audio in Tarkov. Oh my god. Keck W. He was not listening. Gonna listen for a friend. Gonna clear this out. See, that's coming from my left ear, but I can't 100% tell where it's ultimately coming from. Oh my god, this guy left a whole bunch of stuff behind him. He might have been trying to task. I think he's wearing a P.A.C.A. You know you play this game too much whenever you can look at, you can kind of glance at a PMC and be able to tell what it is that they're wearing. Hey, is that a cat? You need my bag. We might toss that guy's stuff depending on what you have. Feels somewhat bad. He was just a boy. Oh yeah. SVD. So, one of the things with woods as well is you kind of don't... this kind of goes with a lot of maps, to be honest with you, is you don't want to sit in one place, right? Once you kind of get your objective done, you need to move on. This game... I mean, I already said that this game kind of rewards aggression. Sometimes unfairly. It also rewards moving fast. I mean, once you kind of get a system down, and once you play the map enough, it's very easy to hit the places that you know are gonna be good for you, and then you move on, right? You don't want to linger too much. We've kind of already stayed here too long because I went back. You know, I wanted to clear it out properly because it's kind of hard to believe that this dude is just barreling down the pipe, which I still am a little hesitant. Where the hell did he go? I'm always really... Oh, he wasn't hearing headphones, that's why. CP or TCW. Yeah, it's always really... I feel like a lot of people sometimes wait just too long, and they end up getting caught in unfavorable situations just because they waited too, or they sat in a place too long. And that can be a really hard habit to break out of as well, is because you feel like you need to kind of min-max your loot and min-max your time in an area, and to an extent that works, but you can't, if you just stay too long, you just end up getting caught underneath another rotation or another set of players. That is my wife. You be nice to her. Yeah, but anyway, staying too long, you know, that's something I've been guilty. We've definitely done that a couple times, and you guys will probably see me do that too many times. Is I want to sit there and kind of min-max the loot, and I'm going to be sitting there fiddling around with my inventory, or I'm just being too cautious and I'm waiting too long, and it ends up biting me in the ass. More often than not, I honestly get killed because I waited too long in a place. I'm just sitting in an area for way too long, being way too cautious when I should. There's something here. That was the something here. More stuff. Bottoms up. Yeah, I end up sitting in a place too long. I end up kind of like... for whatever reason, for whatever god-awful reason, I decide to be way too quiet. Something on its way. My gun jammed. Misfire. Yeah. SR2's kind of asking for it. Yeah, I end up staying way too long, waiting for something to happen. Or just waiting for, you know, an opportunity to show up when that was not really the play to make. See, like, I'm kind of being around here too long. I really need to get moving. I've got loot. I don't have to worry about that. Hydrated? Yeah, I'm hydrated. Yeah, next opportunity I need to take pack mags. There we go. A lot of scouts here. I don't think there's any players around. Might actually be a good time to pack mags. Peas! Eat your peas, kids. Oh, she's a massive nerd. No, she's a massive nerd. She's proud of it, too. She doesn't play as many games as I do. I'm kind of like she's. Who's that I just heard? She's definitely I'm not. You know what? I'm not gonna tell this because I'm hesitant to reveal too much about personal life stuff. At least in the stream. But yeah, we definitely bonded over a certain level of video games, and I actually introduced her to even more types of video games, and including the video game that is kind of like one of the very few that she kind of still plays now, which is Final Fantasy 14. You know, I got her into that one. Do I want to go down here? I've got a lot of stuff. We're not going to go down there. We need to make sure that this run is profitable. And we're not really in a good... We don't really have a good loadout to fight the Bloodhounds if they show up in that spot. So we're just going to take the back way and hit the loot spots back there. Maybe we'll huck a nade down there and see if anything yells. If something yells, then that sounds like the Bloodhounds, and we can change our decision from there. But yeah, she plays Final Fantasy 14, and she actually is super good at it. At least, like, I say she's good at it. I think she's actually really good at that game. Way better than I am at this point. Sometimes I'll go up there and watch her, and I'll look at her window. I'll look at her playing, and I'm like, man, I've been playing Tarkov too long because there's so many colors, and there's shit blowing up, and there's stuff that's Don't you do it. I don't think that was a bloodhound. He did not beam me like a bloodhound, and they're not yelling at me like bloodhounds. I'm going to assume that those are not bloodhounds. My buddy Drick sent me a message. What did he say? Oh, did he get Kappa yet? Ah, I did not get Kappa yet. Sad. Whoops. Sorry, guys. I was just checking a message from him. He doesn't normally message me, so. I don't think the bloodhounds are here, so. Dead? No, he's not dead. There is somebody close, though, with, like, something that sounds like a pistol. Bloodhounds are not here, which is probably a good thing. It's a good thing. I'm not complaining. Please, God, don't send bloodhounds out at me with this kit. At least not in this area to fight. Maybe if we were in another area. Keep moving, though. Yeah. A Basalito. Oh, I'm an idiot. Alright. Get the shit out of me. Eagle. PCB. Pick up PCBs, kids. They're expensive as shit. Almost always worth the slot. I see a lot of my friends, when we play, they'll leave behind PCBs. I'm like, I don't know why you're leaving this behind. Right now they're like 35K. Almost always good to pick up. And the reason for that, which we may get into depending on if it comes up, is... What do I hear? And we're gonna leave. I don't know if I'm hearing shit. I don't like it. Anyway, what was I talking about? I mean, I don't know if I have ADD. I have no idea if I have a disorder. Sometimes I feel like I have ADD. I know my wife makes fun of me sometimes. It's like I kind of lose interest in things if I'm not being engaged. I'm a little bit scatterbrained sometimes. I hate to blame that on ADD because there's some people with actual ADD that like it really, really messes them up. Like they have a lot of problems like concentrating or completing tasks. And like I feel like that's like sometimes I'll hyperfixate on stuff. PCBs. Yes, PCBs. So PCBs, they are used in a very, very, very often. What is that? I don't know what that is, but it sounds tiny. Anyway, PCBs are used in... God, that sounds like a ketter. I'm scared now. I don't want anything to do with that. PCBs are often used for... Well, primary use is they're used for a 60-round 5.56 mag. That's used in... It's the cheapest 60-round mag, but... Anybody running like an HK or like a meta HK or a meta M4, really any meta build with 5.56 that can take it, you want to run some sort of 60 rounder because the rate of fire on them is so high that you kind of chew through. If you use the 30 rounders, you just chew through ammo so quickly that, you know, especially if you don't hit your shots or you're doing suppressing fire or something like that, or just kind of needing to, you know, put rounds down target. 30 rounder is not going to cut it. You'll run dry through a 30 rounder in maybe a second or two of holding down the trigger. So it you know, get the 60 rounder, get at least 1 or 2 60 rounders kind of means the best bang for your buck. Keter means family. Yes, Keter does mean family. Keter also usually means there's somebody, like, you know, people you don't want to mess with. There's 2 things I'm kind of always been afraid, like the kind of scariest Tarkov players in any point of the wipe, and that's a Mosin man and people who run level 4 rat rigs with Keters. The reason for that being they're cheap and they kill people. And you end up, and they can still be dangerous, right? You know, somebody with a Mosin firing PS rounds or even LPS, you know, they can punch through level 4. And on top of that, the people who usually run those kits, they're really good at those guns. And it is always super disheartening to get to the point where you are just, you murk a dude, you know, you take him out, you know, you have an intense firefight, you're throwing nades, you're throwing... Is that a guy there? Well, that's scary as hell. You know, you're fighting a guy, you're throwing nades at him, you're using suppressing fire, you're moving back and forth, he hit you a couple times, you burned up some meds. I'm not gonna stay here. I'm almost full up on loot anyway. Really? We're in the wrong place. This is not where our extract is. I hate it here. We're gonna run this way. But you know, you're throwing nades, you finally get this guy and you go over to loot him, and he's got a Mosin and a rat rig with like 60 rounds of LPS in his pockets. And you go, God damn it, this entire, like, I can't even carry this kid out without being overweight. Because the rat rig and Mosins are pretty, you know, they can be pretty hefty. So, you know, you do all of that, and you end up not earning anything except the satisfaction that you fought a dude with a kit that is probably not over 100k. His dog tag isn't even worth, is not even worth that much anymore, because they nerfed dog tag sell costs quite a while back. Same thing with Keter, right? Running rat rigs, Keters, maybe Shattered Mask. I think I've seen a couple streamers do that. So again, you get through all of that and they just, nothing. Like, you're not gonna, yeah, you earn nothing. And you probably burn through half a mag of, you know, I've had those fights where I killed a dude and I get to him and I go, I just burned half a mag of 855A1. That's, you know, that's probably like 50, 60k of ammo, worth of ammo. Not to mention the damage that you did to me. What is that? We need to stay out. We need to stay in the wooded areas. Stay away from long sight lines. So this is kind of one of the disadvantages of running this kit, right? So we were talking about, we were kind of talking about kit choices earlier in the wipe, or not the wipe, God, early in this stream. And one of the problems with running a kit like this is you're very much relying on staying in cover, going, like, closing the distance quick, and being able to kind of take them by surprise that, hey, I'm using an SR2 on woods. You know, I'm using an SMG on woods. You can kind of strike the difference between kind of this playstyle by using maybe like a like an M4, even an AK. Even though I don't like fighting long ranges with anything that uses the 7.62 Soviet round, Russian round. You can use 308, but you know, there's something just really nice about being able to run, you know, an SMG that costs maybe 100k to build out, and just slinging BT at dudes who don't. They're just not expecting somebody with an SR2. And by the way, chat, I fucked up. We went the wrong, we rotated the wrong way for extract. I should have checked before I started proceeding the way I did. So the problem with doing this is probably gonna fuck up. This kind of fucks up, puts me in the kind of like a weird rotation path. So if anybody's rotating this way, they're gonna kind of catch me. Like this. Oh, see, they got me. That was bad. That was a bad rotation. I should have hucked a nade and probably just retreat across the road. Shame. See, look, head eyes. Doesn't even matter. Didn't touch my level 5 at all. That's a shame. Yeah, M995 as well. So I could have been wearing level 4 and it wouldn't have mattered. Those guys were kitted to the teeth. Actually wonder if maybe that might have been a lucky shot that he got me with. Because I don't know if he actually knew where I was. Play some. Answering back some messages. Honestly, that is more often than not my philosophy is you don't give up ground. And it actually works out more often than not is if you don't give ground and you just push them aggressively, especially on that map, you can just push them aggressively. A lot of people just don't know how to deal with it. I legitimately think that, like, I almost, like, if I'd kept that rotation, I would have and didn't hear/see them, which I think I saw them first. I don't think I got any auto cues. They were a little too far away. If I had not seen them, we would have straight up crossed, right? Which is exactly what I said. I was like, well, this kind of fucks up my plan because we're kind of rotating, like, we might be rotating into players here. Which ended up happening. But that's okay. It's completely fine. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes your plans go awry. And that's okay. We kit up and we go again. And again, it's so let's kind of recap here. What could we have done better? I think the only thing I could have done better there is not push on my left there. I think I had two choices. Or two plays that were much more valid. I think the two valid plays were probably huck a nade and continue my rotation left. Because I think we were far enough away that it would have been fine for me to rotate through the trees, probably just dump back a little bit and just rotate across the road and just keep on going my merry way. Maybe set up an ambush for them at the top of Ditch Hill. But that's, it looked like there were two, potentially three, and that guy was using M995, which is, that's... I don't personally run M995, but the people who do are usually pretty, like, they're either looking to fuck, or we were either gonna we might have potentially gotten outplayed. I could have also known where my extract was. I did not check that before. I should. So that, first mistake, I should have checked that at the beginning of the raid, because then I would have known, like, hey, you need to keep rotating south towards outskirts. Or could have just turned around and rotated, after hitting Ruined Village, then, turn back around and rotate towards the towards outskirts. But the fight itself, so could have hucked a nade, ran across, and set up an ambush and not taking the fight. Alternatively, huck the nade, push on the right, and see if I could have gotten a pick that way. Because I think it was much more obscured on the right side through all the trees and bushes. At least I think. I'm not 100% sure on that particular area. I don't normally fight there. I actually wonder where they were coming from. I wonder if those guys were from the Scav village, maybe. What do we want to run? Let's see. Scar? Take a Scar. Let's see. Or do I want to work on a task? It requires me wearing Untar. Now. Kind of like this. Let's just keep going. See if we can make more money. It's also end wipe. There's not like kind of like tasking this late in the wipe is just kind of eh. Because I don't go for Kappa. At least, especially these days, I just don't like, you know, for me, I feel like it's not, to me, it's not worth it. I don't, having the extra spots in your butt, kind of nice if you play this game a bunch, but I feel like if you play this game enough times to where you get Kappa, you kind of don't need the stuff in your, you kind of don't need the room, you know? Let's see. Let's get some drip going. Schmidt and Bender. Yeah, look at that. Drip or drown. Hemlock. No. We want the tan one. Yeah, there we go. It matches. Ooh. That is 70k right now? Well, how much is the cap? Okay, maybe the 70k is justified. Back one. And bloop. Grim Bender's kind of expensive right now. I'm actually kind of surprised that that's expensive as it is. Might be a bunch of people trying to. Well, I don't know if it makes sense for them to be doing an event using Schmidt and Benders. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but let's see. What do I need? Get it together. I need mags. I need gun. I need bullets in my butt. I need a bag. Hold on. Let's use his attack too. Just so we're actually just talking about how like doesn't matter what I'm wearing, like I could be wearing like usually whenever I wear level 5s and stuff I just get tapped in the head. I was wearing a level 5 Osprey there, covered your arms and your thorax. They never hit me once in the arms or thorax. Straight to the dome, man. I hate it here sometimes. There we go. $62. I need to actually buy some more from our buddy Peacekeeper. to set it up so that way. I wonder if there's I wonder if I can do that on YouTube. Normally there is. I know you can do this on Twitch, but on YouTube, I'm wondering if there is a way for me to set it up so that way, it either shows the song that's playing, or you guys can just type in the command. The command's gotta work since that's through a bot. I have to check that out. Write that down. 5, 6, 8. Yeah, I think kind of a annoying thing with YouTube is that they have not they're pretty well, I wouldn't say strict. They just the way they deal with music on YouTube kind of sucks. I kind of wish that they I kind of wish they had a way to, like, similar to way the Twitch does it, is you can play DMCA'd music, but I think it streams to a separate audio channel, so that way whenever you do your VODs for said stream, right, you can strip out the music. Because I really wish that I could play regular old music, especially in these early days, because I'm not, not a whole lot of use, so I would like to have something kind of entertaining for you guys to listen to while I'm kind of puttering around in this stash. But
while you're puttering, do you have me muted in here?
No, you're not muted.
Okay.
Yeah. You are not muted. What's up? You getting on?
Oh, I was just hanging out.
Yeah. I mean, you can play if you want. But you gotta get tasks done.
I don't know. I'm gonna shoot people.
Come play if you want. Kit up for woods.
Okay,
doing these chill woods runs. There you are. Shadow was supposed to get on. I don't know if he's playing something else. Looks like he's playing. Oh, he's playing Stellaris. He must be playing Stellaris with his homies. Yeah, he's playing Stellaris. It is a 4X game by Paradox.
Mm-hmm.
You ever played Civ?
Nope.
No.
Like Civilization?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like that, but bigger and in space. It's actually pretty fun. I really enjoy it. It's a really, really good, like, just chill game to play. I'm going to need to make some more stuff for dollar reduce soon. Starting to dip on that one.
If I am to die, everything is insured, and I've got a lot of 856A1 if you want it.
Oh wait, actually, you want to run interference for me while I try to do a task?
I don't care.
Cool. Let's see. I gotta run Untar shit, so give me a second. Boop. Boop.
Where are we going, you said? Woods?
Woodsy. Hold on, I gotta get an M4. I gotta pull out an M4 and build it real quick.
I think the only quests I have here are these two. So if we could kill Sturman 21 times in this raid,
that is not going to happen.
I'll be done.
Yeah, that's super not gonna happen.
Well.
I actually helped somebody do that earlier this wipe.
Kill Sturman?
Yeah, kill Sturman that many times.
No, never will I ever do that.
It was not as... It's about as fun as you think it is. I lost a lot of kits doing that one.
The very first raid I played with friends on this game was a buddy that I randomly met in a chat somewhere or something, and became good buddies playing. But he took me to woods.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, now we're coming up on the lumber mill is what they call this. And there's a boss in here, and he'll shoot you. So if he starts shooting, just zigzag and run away, but you're probably going to die. And about that time, he got shot in the face.
By Sturman?
And then about 1 second later, I got shot in the face. And he goes, this is what I was talking about. And I said, this game is terrifying. Because, yeah, no noise, no nothing. Just, tat, dead.
Yeah, I don't know why he told you to zigzag. That does not help against Sturman.
Dog barked, scared the shit out of me.
Oh, you're in here. All right, I gotta kill 15 scavs here.
Do it.
Did I put
something dark side?
Backing us out real quick. I don't think I put a attack device on this. What was I talking about before you came in here? Oh, music. Yeah, I don't. I really wish that I could play like regular old music. Right now, I'm just playing Tetris Effect music, which is not DMCA. Did not put attack device on.
You are correct in your assumption of how they do it, though.
What? It splits it into 2 audio streams. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, we're gonna fix this a little bit. Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna fix this because he's not built right. It could be better. Yeah, I almost ended up streaming on Twitch just because of that, because I like the idea of putting music on in between raids and stuff. But at the same time, you know, good practice for just talking. All right, there we go. Got everything. Let's go, buddy. A Shama.
Shemagagaga.
Shemagagaga.
So I have to complain really fast, and you just have to hear
What
it.
do you want to complain about, ma'am?
I hate technology
Why?
and civilization.
Okay.
Hear me out.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
I said on the way home, I desire a pizza. I never order pizza. Like, I don't eat out. And so I was like, I kind of want a pizza. I'll call Papa John's and get a pizza. And so I called Papa John's. And it was a lady that had a very Indian accent. Not meaning anything derogatory by it, but definitely Indian.
Okay.
And she starts, you know, hello, whatever, awesome. And I'm like, excuse me, yeah, what are your guys' specials? Do you have anything for medium or large pizzas, like just single pizzas right now? You know, anything that I can get that's a special? And she goes, well, how many people are going to be eating in your party? And I'm like, well, I don't need to tell you how many people. Like, if I want to eat the whole pizza, I can. But if I just want to, like, eat some of it, I can too. And then she said, okay. And I said, I just need to know the specials. And then she says, well, let me check that store. And it was at that moment that I realized that Papa John's has outsourced their ordering over the phone,
their phone
to India.
That's interesting.
Yes.
Why?
No idea. But I definitely
Papa John's did that?
did not. Yeah, definitely did not get to talk to someone at that store. That person wasn't even in this state.
They're not even in this country, likely. That is interesting. I did not know that.
Probably, yeah. Neither did I. And then I said, okay, well, I just really don't have time, because I asked how long the wait was. And she goes, well, it's anywhere from 16 to 46 minutes right now, it looks like. And I said, well, I will just not have to do that. Why did you just
order online?
Because I didn't have the app.
Oh.
And ordering online, you got to like create an account.
You do have to? They must have changed that, because you didn't used to have like an account and stuff with them.
Oh, I don't know. I figured you did. I don't order pizza, so
that's fair. That's fair.
I gave up. And
to be fair, like, so they could have done that a while ago. I actually have not ordered pizza by the phone in a very long time. And when I think the last time I did, I think I ordered it from a local place that would not be able to outsource anything. So,
but yeah, I was just baffled when I got off the phone. I was like, I know that was super old school to call an order. Like it's a new age. We order everything over the phone, and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, did they really do
outsourced it though? I think that's I think that's the more wild part, is that it was outsourced to foreign shores at that. Like, how much are you really saving here?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you'd be surprised, but yeah. So I was just astonished that because I was like, okay, it's just an Indian lady that works there, no biggie. And then after the whole debacle about asking me how fat I was and how many pizzas I needed, and if anyone else is going to be helping me, she proceeded to be like, oh, well, let me check that store location. And I was like, wait a minute, I see what's going on here.
Yeah,
you're not even there.
Yeah, she's not actually there. I mean, even if she was stateside, right? She obviously is not like
there.
Yeah, she's not there to check and see. Which again, like, that's such an odd thing. Like, why?
Location. Yeah. But if you change all your phone numbers that currently exist on all these landlines to like voice over IP phone numbers, and you make that transition, and then it calls that number, and then it rings through to your hotline, they automatically know what store you're calling for and what area you're in, so they can automatically pull all that stuff up. Because I didn't tell her like I wanted to use the Joplin location, and I was like, oh wow, like that's what's going on here. So
no, I mean,
at that moment, I decided
sense, yeah.
I just decided I was old for trying to order pizza over the phone, and came home and ate chicken.
You don't have a local place near you like that does pizza? I don't know, like, how populated your area is.
Not like a specialty place or whatever. I just wanted like a Canadian bacon pizza.
Okay.
Why aren't you in?
I'm still sinking. I'm in now.
You're okay. You just disappeared and reappeared in a different spot.
We're by. Okay. Cool. We're gonna need some place to do this. 2 spawns we gotta worry about. So. Yeah, I it's just so, because I'm thinking about it, like, places that have outsourced their stuff like that, they have like dedicated call centers. Like, it's places that do a lot of customer support over the phone, so it makes sense that they would do it. But it's Papa John's. Like, do your employees not know how to answer the phone?
Well, they probably just did the math and found out they can have less people working.
You can't have the pizza boy. I don't know. I'm just at a certain point, like, because I used to work at a Pizza Hut at one point, so it's like, I mean, I made pizzas and answered the phone at the same time. They're telling me now they're like, that's like a huge. It's almost like, is that a huge like labor sink? You know?
Yeah.
Or we got to rotate towards outskirts. Okay, so we're gonna be rotating USEC camp. I don't know where you're at, by the way. You just chilling in
I'm
a
in like
bench?
the first building that we went into. I had to check my phone real fast.
Oh shit!
Where from?
What? Oh god! Oh god! What? Where?
I don't.
He's all the way at like he's near the shore. No, like far left.
Yeah, I know. I heard someone right here though. Right.
I don't understand that one. That was the weirdest. Yeah, should be very close to you.
Yeah, so are all these grenades. What the frick? This guy's on crack.
That's a
He's got to
scav,
be
dog.
invisible.
No, it's just a scav. That's him. Yeah.
He was like in the wall or something. That was weird.
I don't know. Like I looked for because I heard him yell. I looked in his direction. I was like, I don't see anything there. And then he shot me once, and then he thoraxed me. I don't know what I could have done differently there. But I'm over there someplace. All I really care about is my gun.
Right.
Yeah. All I care about is my gun and my mags. Please.
Okay, give me a second to.
Are you good? Music. Da, 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 da.
Dude, there's so many grenades going off.
Like near you?
Yeah.
It might be
Well,
fighting
not
over
near,
a bunker.
but yeah. I think I can take vehicle extract if no one's there.
Okay.
I'll run for that in a second.
Good. That's fine. Like I said, gun and mags is the only thing I care about.
Okay.
Dun dun dun. I'm just more surprised than anything.
Yeah, he was like super hidden where he was.
I've run through that area so many times. I've never had a scav do that. No, not in a while. Not since they nerfed scav aggro stuff. What?
I can't move?
You're CMSing.
Yeah, but I couldn't move at all.
Oh, you have to finish the animation.
Where the hell is this guy?
I don't know.
Am I blind?
I don't know where he's at. Hold on. Did he yell at you?
Yeah, he's up here, but I
To your left.
blast him with a shotgun.
No, to your right as well. You got two. There's one to your right, one to your left. Yeah, it's to your left. Let's see if I can.
He was shot me through the cracks in the wall.
Oh yeah, they can thread needles. Yeah, they don't follow the laws of good or bad for on whether or not they can make their shots. They just do if they get enough, they get a long enough time on you. Ooh.
Okay.
Brave man. Got
Where
very
did
close.
you die?
Let's see. Should there.
Right here.
Yeah. The blue one. Should be able to put it. You can put everything in the black rock. Yeah, you should. Yeah, because I wasn't carrying a whole lot. I don't even think I looted. There you go. You should be able to put the trooper in there. Boom. Boom.
I'm gonna leave your armor, but
That's fine. That's okay.
I just don't want to be like crazy overweight. I still have to find time to put all my limbs back on. Get the fuck out of this hellhole. Dude, these scavs are like invisible. Like, I'm not kidding. It's weird.
Let's see here. Do this real quick. While you are working on that, I'm going to actually work on something.
Fuck.
Let's see.
Nope. Fuck this. I'm out of here. Fuck that arm. I don't need that arm.
Not if you don't plan on fighting.
I'm not fighting any more of these devil scavs.
Let's see. Media source? Maybe this will work. Discord. Nope, that's if I want to stream. Ah, I see. I'm gonna have to kind of.
Hey, what ammo did you have in your gun?
855A1.
I took one of your 60 rounders, but it's just what loaded
That's
into my
fine.
mag first.
That's fine. You can use it. I got plenty of it. You gotta get out, so.
Well, I'm getting ready to die.
Huh?
There is someone right outside to the right, and I just started healing.
I mean, if they didn't push you yet, you got a nade? Just huck it out there to see if it's a scav or not. Turn on though. You said you heard them on your right?
Yep.
Okay, so keep
In the
this.
bushes to the right.
Keep in mind, your Comtac 4s, they extend your hearing to way farther than it used to be. You can hear out to like 100 meters.
Okay, it's a scav. He just calmed. He's behind me. I'm fucking out of here. Jesus. Fucking crack scavs. Fuck this place. Get a mile away before I can heal.
Mm-hmm. Elite Cobra Operative. Cobra Kova. Yeah, money, right?
Yep. There's no one in the woods right here, though. Moving left to right. Like, out where this tree's at, that path right here.
See what he
I
does.
just want to, like, heal so that if I do get into a fight, I don't just fall apart.
And you can pop a propy if you don't want to do the, if you don't want to risk him hearing you.
Did they heal again?
Huh?
Did they
Propies?
heal again?
Yeah. They reverted
Yeah.
back.
The guy that was by... Are you kidding me? Is that scav chasing me?
They don't normally wander out this far, but guys have been doing weird things. I mean, don't look at your inventory if you think there's a guy here, because he'll hear you. Like I said, just keep in mind your contacts are extending your hearing out farther than what you're used to, so you've got to keep that in mind. You might be hearing something that's not even close to you. Ooh, that was something in front of him.
There's someone here. At the town.
Those are bloodhounds. Be careful.
What are those?
There's
I don't know what a bloodhound is.
They're like raiders, but they're a lot more aggressive and they wear better armor and use better weapons.
I think he missed that.
If you're gonna sit there, do not peek from behind out the plate.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, Shadow, he missed that patch.
Oh. What you guys doing?
Being scared.
If you kill 30 bloodhounds, you can buy BP from the market. I haven't seen... Oh, shit. Probably shouldn't be drinking that.
Oh, he's right there.
No, nope,
Don't
just,
move.
you're good. You're good.
Don't move.
Yeah, just don't move. There you go.
There's a player that's either hunting them or shooting them, like moving around the village.
He's hunting them probably, or he ran into them. He's trying to fight them. Yeah, so they follow the same rules as like raiders and rogues, where as soon as you expose a body part, they're gonna beam that body part. So you don't want to peek your head out.
You guys
I need
want
the
to help me do bullshit?
Yeah, bullshit.
We could try to do bullshit. He's got my kit for.
I just have to not shoot scabs. So.
Well, you also have to get there. The not shooting scabs, that's the easy part because you got friends with you. The getting there is the hard part because you got to run the bridge and then you got to run to dorms.
3-story dorms.
Yep. All right. Bring that M4.
One moment, please.
Me. Yeah, probably do one more and then I'm gonna bounce because I got worky works tomorrow.
Same, I go back to work tomorrow. I'm not excited.
You know. Make the dough.
I'll pay the bills. All right, so I need an SV98, right?
Yep. Does not have to be anything special, just an SV98. Would you mind putting an EOTech on that, Kova?
Which EOTech?
EOTech -2, please.
Do I see it in here that I already have it?
Oh, that UH1
No.
should work as well. If you aren't gonna, if you plan on using that UH1,
Nope.
that would also be fine. Thank you. Since we are playing Protect the President, this last one, I'm going to actually come in a little bit thicker. You got my bag. You got my meds. You got my
I'll show you
grenade.
just a second. What was here? Oh, CMS. Fucking, I had to do 5 surgeries that last raid.
Need a roller. I don't think I have one of those.
What task are you doing?
Bullshito.
Bullshit.
I need you
What's
to
that
keep
for?
You
that.
have to plant a flash drive, an SV98, and a roller in a spot on customs. And hope you don't die.
It's in 3-story dorms and like the trash.
Yeah, the very top in the trash. It's a
Hmm.
terrible quest because you're not allowed to shoot scabs.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh.
all without shooting scabs. That's right. Did I have grenades in there?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, I shouldn't have need anything.
So, this is my juice. I'll
There
put
are many
this in
like
my
it, but this one is
thing.
mine.
That's your, wait, this is my trooper. Can I do these backwards from each other?
Should be able to.
Bring rubles as well, because chances are, as soon as I plant that shit, I'm going to vehicle extract.
What was I doing?
You'd show me what or you're restacking. There you go.
So, your bag has your Black Rock, 3 grenades, meds, condors, mag. I don't have a. Well, I do have 855A1. Is that what you have?
Yeah.
Okay. It's full of
Need an
855A1,
Cool.
Chance.
and your other mag is full. You got your little thing. You want to need your Untar helmet and your M32s, or do you want to trash them?
Go on, bring them.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll carry them out. I need to bring more I need to bring at least one more. 30 maybe.
Yeah, you got 260s right now.
Bring another 30 in case.
Dude, I'm telling you what, that village area on the backside in between the houses and the water is cursed.
Yeah, you think that?
Like, not even kidding. I have had the craziest, like, scav experiences of Tarkov right there.
I mean, yeah, I could see that.
Is Augmented more expensive? 20k.
Right.
Oh, I did that. Can't sell that. Neat.
Or I think my dog is right outside my door. I don't know what he's doing, but he's freaking out over something.
Why are none of these adapters on here? Oh well.
What are you looking for?
Oh, this 12 gauge thread adapter right here, like none of them are on the Lee.
Just means nobody's selling them.
Nobody's selling them.
Huh.
Yeah.
But that usually means
you can set it for whatever you want.
Yeah. I was about to say, you set the
Yeah,
price
but-
for.
Does it always give you that error whenever you're
Yeah,
the
if you're the well, because you're selling it at you're literally selling it at the highest.
You just sold that for a 20K flea price, just an FYI.
That's fine. But
Shadow, throw
sometimes
your
you gotta
stream up
spend
for
money
this
to
one.
make money. I have one dorm marquee opener left.
I literally ratted so hard today to get those fresh shotgun kills.
Yeah?
I mean, I'm proud of you.
I pushed 2 guys and got 2 of them. But the other 3 I was literally just fucking waiting for people to fucking walk past my line of sight. At which point I blew off their legs.
All right, y'all get everything?
Yep.
Some would say that. You want the scope?
No, I don't care about that.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you wanted me to bring it too, as well as.
Shadow, where's your
What?
stream?
It's
There
up.
it is. I didn't see it before. Why can't I? What the hell, ass? Why can't I look at it?
Oh,
Watching stream. Oh, okay. Give it to me. There we go.
I just wore here. Hope we get the right side spawn.
You mean the left side spawn?
Yeah. The backside spawn.
Yeah, the ideal one would be big red, so we can get your flash drive. You remember which? You looked up which car it was, right?
I'm pretty sure I know what car it is.
Okay.
I can look it up, but I was pretty sure I
On top of my Papa John's debacle.
Papa John's debacle.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
you
a
gotta
whole
tell
thing.
him the story.
Okay, so I'm coming home and I don't hardly ever eat out, right?
Yep.
And I'm coming home and I'm like, man, I want pizza.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, there's Papa John's on the way home. I'll get Papa John's the old ring-a-ling. See what's up.
Fair.
Call Papa John's. Papa John's answers the phone. It's an Indian lady. I don't mean anything
Yep.
bad by this. Just saying it's an Indian lady.
It is relevant to the story.
It
All right,
is.
go on.
And she said, "Hey, thank you for calling Papa John's or whatever. Obviously not in that accent, not that well spoken, but I was like, oh, okay. I was caught off guard. And I said, do you guys have any specials? And she goes, well, how many people will be joining you? And I'm like, it doesn't matter how many people will be joining me. I just want to know what your specials are. I'm just a guy who wants pizza. Like, you don't need how many. I may be feeding 1,000 people. You don't know. Or I could just be eating 1,000 pizzas by myself. And she's, oh, well, okay. So we have this special and this special and this special. And I said, okay, well, like, what do you have for like single pizzas? Like, is there any kind of like single topping, triple topping, like, that I could get, whatever. And she goes, well, hold on, let me check that store. And I was like, okay. And then I asked her how long the wait would be, and she goes, anywhere between 16 and 46 minutes. And I was like, well, that's a really big time frame. I don't think I have enough time for that. And as I was like, thanks or whatever, I hung up the phone, I realized that she was Indian. I almost guarantee you she was in India, and Papa John's has outsourced their like incoming calls to India.
Probably because she had to check with the store.
Yes, and that's why it didn't click until after she said it. And I was like, oh my gosh, they've outsourced their like ordering service. Like, apparently that it's just mind-boggling to me.
It is.
But needless to say,
me, yeah.
I came home and ate chicken. I did
Probably
not
wise
get
choice.
pizza.
Well, if you think about it, she did you a favor, right? Because you, instead of eating pizza, is
I just really
high in
wanted a
saturated fats and
Canadian,
really
like,
bad for you, in terms of high
Yeah.
calorie count. You ate chicken.
Yeah, but I just wanted a piece of like Canadian bacon pizza. Man,
I just want this raid to load.
Yeah, we might. If it hits 5 minutes, I'm gonna force us out and put us back in.
talk gently and softly to it.
Tarkov, put me in, coach.
Damn. What pool are you guys hanging out at? I want to go. Tatas everywhere.
All right, if it hits
Oh,
5 at
buddy.
Malta 4. Pop, 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 pop. No, I'm just. We were talking about it earlier, but it's just like it just wilds me out that like that's where we are in society, right? Yeah, it's
That
like
is
we're
kinda wild,
we're
yeah.
outsourcing phone orderings for pizza. Like that's,
Yep.
I mean, Kova brought up a good point that there's like it's probably a surprising amount of money that it saves saves
it's-
Papa John's,
They get
but
paid pennies on the fucking dollar
Malta F4.
an
Yeah.
hour. Because Acrisure
But
does outsourcing for data sets. So they just have a bunch of contractors out in the fucking Philippines that literally just answer emails and put data in spreadsheets.
Yeah, but I was talking about this with Kova. Like, it makes sense for labor-intensive stuff like that, right? It makes sense for like support call centers.
Well, it's not labor intensive. It's data input. I mean, it's not.
But, I
It's
mean,
it's
it takes time,
menial work.
That's
Yeah,
labor
it's menial
intensive.
work.
I mean, that's
all
by
it is.
definition in labor intensive. Like, there's not really any way to put that, but
not physical labor, but like.
Well, yeah,
time
that,
spent
I take
doing work.
when I look at labor intensive, I think of it as like challenging. That's what I.
no. I'm saying labor intensive as in like there's a high amount of time being burned on this particular.
They're very simple tasks that could be automated.
Yeah, I mean it's it's just again like call center work, right? Like if all you're doing is if all you're doing is answering the phone, and then you get you're finding out if person turn it on or off again, that I can completely understand why it is outsourced. But answering the phone to get like a pizza order, like I used to work at a pizza place when I was younger, and it was like I answered the phone and made pizzas, right? And front of house, they were servers, and they also answered the phone and did all their jobs. You know, the assistant manager most of the time was filling in wherever it was they were supposed to be filling in at. It was just crazy. It's just crazy to me. Like, it's nuts. Like, I would love to see the numbers.
Yeah, from a time study perspective, is like, that's what I do, like, is to figure out that, hey, it's going to be cheaper if we take away this one task, eliminate that completely, and then the savings on top of, how much are local phone lines compared to a voice, like a VoIP server, or whatever the case is, and then being able to always have someone answer the phone and you never lose a customer theoretically, versus
I was gonna say
the phone line's busy or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you look at it from the perspective of, like, if we lose this many calls because nobody's able to pick up the phone, then it suddenly starts making sense. But again, like, how many first, I guess it's
how many old people are calling to order pizza?
Yeah, like, well, how many people, like, we were just joking about you being an old person, and like, I don't, it's an old man thing to go and order pizza this way. But I'm thinking about it, like, who really does order pizza in that fashion anymore?
Me.
You. And I don't know. I don't know very many people.
Leaving the stream. Here's the game.
Oh yeah, I alt F4. Did you back out?
I did alt F4.
Did you
Mine's
press
just
back out
leaving the
before?
game, too.
Oh, I don't know if you backed out fast enough.
I did back out before.
Okay, that's okay. No, it was just wild to me whenever we were talking about, whenever he told me that story, and I was like, what? That's insane.
He mentioned something that would have drove me even more insane. It would have been not just a rant like I was doing, but this would have been full on anger. Is if I would have called Papa John's, and the first thing they did is, if you're calling about an existing order, press 1. If you're calling about a new order, press 2. And I was like, this motherfucker's gonna be automated. And I was like, if they have me do an automated ordering of pizza and they've done it that way, I was like, I will never go back. And luckily, the lady from India picked up.
All right, I'm in.
Oh, I'm in too. I was looking at my screen, like, staring at it.
It's so expensive. I'm not gonna buy an ODB2.
Yeah, OBD2s ain't cheap.
Yeah, like, they're 300K, and you told me to use one, and I'm poor.
Back on the mule grind.
Did you? I mean, was it found in raid?
No.
No, I mean, I had it in my injector case or whatever.
Right. Was it found in raid?
Well, I mean, it originally was, not anymore. I wasn't saying that, like, I could have sold it. I was saying that I can't afford to replace it. Because I'm poor 99.
I spent probably 4 mil on that shotgun task.
Good God.
I spent probably 2.5 mil playing with you while you were doing that shot.
Good time.
Your kit's too expensive.
It was literally,
I was going
it was
garbage.
literally 40K for armor, an M153 with a suppressor, and that was the kit, and then like some ears. I just died.
I wouldn't have bothered with the ears on factory.
I tried doing it without the ears and just running like full-faced helmets, and then I just couldn't fucking hear anything. And I tried it without the ears. I was like, this is dumb. I'd rather spend the 32K and know what's going on.
Are you back out?
My survival
Kova?
rate dropped 2%. Yeah, he's
What?
back out.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
I'm waiting. Sorry. I should have been more
So you're
clear with my verbiage.
Oh, don't re-insure because it should be insured already. All right. Throw your stream up when you get a chance as well.
I won't do it. You can't make me. You're not my dad.
Oh, you could not. I'm just gonna end up shooting you. I'm a. Oh, that's a fun name. Bye.
Huh? What? Oh, you see names, and I was like, "What are you talking about, dude? It's just us in here."
I see dead people.
By the way, I'm just letting you guys know, I was at the casino until 3 o'clock this morning, and then I woke up at 6:30 to go ride dirt bikes all day. I am tired.
Why are you still up?
Because if I go to bed right now, like I will, until I'm like completely exhausted, I would have woken up at like 3 if I would have went to bed when I got home.
Okay.
Because my brain only lets me sleep for so long, and then it wakes me up.
Wake me up inside.
Wake me up.
I also broke my dirt bike today, which is real sad.
I'm shocked.
Very sad for
of
you.
all the things, I split the gas tank.
How? How?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Dude was just driving along, riding, enjoying his time. Then his bike was just empty. And he's like, "What the fuck?"
No, like we went to lunch, and then when we came back, we had all our bikes, and there was 3 of us that went, and we took
Uh-huh.
1, 2, 3, 4 dirt bikes, an electric like mountain bike, dirt bike thing. I don't know what to call it because it was real freaking fast, but it was electric. 2 4-wheelers, and then 2 racers. And
That's a
there's
lot for 3
3
people.
people. But the funny part was, I said, "Why did you bring the razor with the bed on it?" Like, cause he's got like a utility razor. I was like, "Why did you even bring that?" And he's like, "Well, in case we need a recovery vehicle." And I was like, "Whatever." We had to put my motorcycle in the back of it to get it back.
Got your ass.
Yeah. And then I was like, "Well, I'm glad you brought so many dirt bikes." And then I ended up having to ride one of his bikes all day because my bike was down. But yeah, like we got back from lunch or whatever, and because I found a plug.
Gasoline under your car.
Yep, and it literally had just started leaking, but there was a puddle of gas underneath it, and I was like, "What the?" And looked, and it had like, I don't know if my vent wasn't working right or something, but it like, I guess it like probably pressurized it or something, and then like cracked the tank right there. And I was like, of all the freaking things that could happen. And it was full of gas too, which was the worst part. And gas ain't cheap.
Synchronizing with other players. 100%. I'm synchronized. Let me in.
No.
We're waiting for you to be more than 100% done.
Probably. Yeah.
That RAM
Also,
helping you?
I mean, I haven't crashed.
Yeah.
I feel like you should crash wearing those little cute shoulder pads from the, 80s. Mr. Mom.
I don't think this armor has arm protection.
It doesn't. The shoulder pads are only there for aesthetics.
Tarkov, I swear to God. Let me in the fucking game.
This game makes it real hard just to play sometimes.
I know.
Yeah.
I had literally no problem all day playing raids. This is what I get for upgrading to Windows 11.
I'm rocking that Windows 8 life.
Please God, tell me you're not.
No.
Windows 8 is literally the worst fucking operating system.
This chick, we have 21 mutual friends. I have no idea who she is, but her tatas are literally larger than her entire head. And that's not an exaggeration. One tata is that big.
I'm gonna get DC'd.
Okay.
Nope, 7
Yeah,
seconds.
you
You're
need to
gonna
alt
come in
F4
right
and...
into... Nope, wait, it'll come right
there
in.
we go. Nice.
I hate this game.
Oh, God,
and
the rain.
It's raiding. It's raiding hard.
Hey, stuff.
I'm the other person.
Stuff. Give me.
Don't hit me. I already don't really have any meds left.
Why is it raining but so bright out?
It's the summer shower, dog.
Oh, sweet bandage. Need that. Tiny pistol.
We're also in the worst spot for you to do this task.
Very much.
reserve kit.
Okay. I'm trying to think best way we're gonna do this rotation because.
We have to get to the bridge first.
Yep. Which is crossing
Probably
across
wanna
like two
avoid crack
teams.
house.
All right, come on.
Come.
Oh, that's so much better. My DTS wasn't enabled. We would basically have to win the fight at Crack House.
Go left side through the. Or cut along the fence.
Whoa! Get
Oh,
shot.
you got shot?
What's that?
From where?
Sniper scout, probably.
No, behind you, behind you.
Or is it the boss?
From the right. I think somebody. I think they jumped the fence. Yep. I think they jumped the fence. By train. M993.
Oh,
I'm stuck in these fucking boxes. I don't know where you're at, by the way.
I'm to your right.
Okay.
They're fighting somebody else now, not me. I'm to your right behind the truck.
Okay.
Yeah, that was not a fun. That was They immediately jumped the fence. I think is what happened there.
I think they're trying to bait.
Let's see how the guys deal with this. It's a kind of a tough fight because they're just in like a really weird spot to try to fight in.
Can you see RD or RSD from where you're at? Because you have the scope. So if anyone's gonna kill them, it's gonna have to be you. Those have got to be bait shots.
Kind of interested in seeing where they find them because I don't think they're in Fortress. I think
More
they're over.
shots? Oh, I guess we're here for the long run now.
Wait, right here, left, front left.
Okay, get ready.
I don't know about this play because I would have seen us crossing the train tracks.
I swear I heard jump front left. Like towards the corner of the blue fence going to Crack. Metal.
That'd be metal front left.
I'm dead.
Okay.
Corner of blue fence by Crack. Right
Nope. Those.
How you doing?
Hey, I think that's a cheater.
there. Did he get you too? Is that same guy?
That's the same guy. He knows exactly where you're at. He just calmed at
Yeah.
you. Yeah, they know exactly where you're at. They're cheating. Yeah, that's why I calmed at you.
Yeah, he came around the corner and like instantly. Frat.
I got one of them with a grenade, I think.
It might have just been the one. I don't know if there was a.
I only knew there was one. I didn't hear two coming up. I only heard one. Yeah, 993. Head, top of head. Through a bastion. Cool.
Wow, you weren't. Bastion without a forehead plate doesn't block shit.
Nope,
It's just
someone's
like
still
that.
alive.
Oh, sorry.
I think you got him.
Yeah.
I got one.
Yes.
I don't know if there's more yet. There is.
Just be careful that audio on your left of the stairs gets really, really fucky.
Okay.
Yeah, he swung you.
Literally no audio sprinting
Yeah.
up there.
As I was afraid
You
of.
get at least one.
Bing
The
bong.
three-man?
I'm dead.
Yeah.
I did kill 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, he's gonna fraud all their shit and get all their stuff. All right.
That's not
Well,
what I
that's
care
a
about. I'm
that's a
fucking pissed
shitty one to
off
end
that I
on.
died to that.
That's a shitty one to end on. I'm almost sure that dude with the M993 was cheating.
Yeah, he came around like he was shooting at us from crack house.
Yeah.
Is what he was doing.
I did not
then
even-
he came around the corner. I shot one round and like he was already aiming at me when I shot the first round, and then I died.
Oh
And I
well.
was like, that seems sus.
All right. Well, I'm gonna hop off. Unfortunately that was my last one for the night. So, you guys gonna keep playing?
No.
I think I'm gonna go to sleep maybe, or like stare at the wall for a minute or something.
Okay. Well, if you guys are on tomorrow, we can try bullshit. We can try to do bullshit again. It should be a little less chatty because we'll be out of the weekend. But I will catch you guys later.
Yep.
Bye.
All right. That was unfortunate that we ran into kind of like that kind of shitty sus stuff. That's really, really annoying to end a stream on. But thank you for hanging out. And I will catch you guys later. Hope you had some fun watching. Unfortunately, we didn't get as many raids as I wanted to in. But that's kind of what happens whenever you get more squad mates, because you don't want to start another raid, and I like this clip that at the end of wipe. It's kind of, I don't like to scav as much just because there's not a whole lot to do when scavving other than just get loot. But you guys have a good night, and